At the end of the day, we need to relearn, if we hadn't learned it already, empathy.
Empathy.
Missing is empathy. When you talk about men and men being in safe spaces to express, there are some of us who don't have a problem with that. We're not afraid of our emotions or feelings or speaking, our truths and minds, especially to other women. Sadly, what happens is what Will spoke about. There's you'll say XYZ, and then there's a shutdown. We first we're told, well, I wish I could find a man that would express himself, because men don't express themselves. Men don't say things. They don't speak up about their feelings. And then you get a man that say, well, here's how I feel. And as soon as that's done, get, oh, you're all up in your feelings, or whatever it is, we get shut down. So some of us don't stop just because of that, but a lot of men do. They go back in,
shut down,
because that was that moment where they were trying to be more open, and they get rejected in that openness. And so, and actually, the same thing is true for men with women, and that's all part of the
right
thing. We have to listen instead of just hearing.
That's right.
We can hear each other all day.
All day.
I see a lot on social media, we like to do this battle of the whatever it is, sexes, or South Side versus West Side, or we like to do the tit for tat, the versus thing. We love adversity against each other.
I don't.
We were taught that in our culture, though.
Yeah.
We have to stop judging each other for the things that our culture, that we were bred literally in. And it was not only that, but they pushed it on us.
Thank y'all. What'd you say, Kennery?
I just want to know if Amber ever remembered what she was going to say. I want to know.
What I wanted to say, what I forgot to say during Monday night's live, I forgot to put this down with my notes when I was taking notes. You mentioned that you wanted to censor what you post because you're concerned that there might be something looming that we're not aware of. And I agree, because I feel that as well. I wanted to say regarding that man in the video that you showed us, the man leading the gathering of the white supremacists who was speaking to Charles Barkley. He is a showman, a ringleader. In my opinion, people like him are the distraction. They attract the attention of the masses, making a scene with overt racism, while the bigots with real power make strategic changes that affect our daily lives, plotting and planning ways to maintain their status in America. Like when a magician draws the crowd's attention to their left hand so they don't pay attention to what the right hand is doing. He provides us a target, something to aim our aggressions at when tensions in the U.S. get high. But that hype eventually dies down, and we go back to being complacent because the magician's right hand has already done its work and we fell for the trick. I don't get riled up over people like him anymore, because the people we should really be concerned about are in office, in the police department, in the church, and in the schools. I do get the feeling that something is looming as white folks lose their grip on America, but it's futile. This country and its founders have a lot of karma coming their way, and I'm just here for the show.
At some point in time, we have to take responsibility that none of that is going to ever change. Every time we move beyond a system that teaches those things that you're talking about, April, they create another one that does the same thing, aim some other type of enslavement. So they're going to keep molding something that's going to
keep moving the goalposts.
Moving the goalposts. So, but at some point, most of us know right from wrong. Most of us know when we're hurting people. Most of us know when we are not doing what we need to do or not doing enough. So at some point, the man cannot be the person that we keep blaming for what we're doing.
Right.
We know what we are up against. We've seen it for 400 plus years. We know that it's there. We know that the system, or at least we should know, we know that the system was not built for us. We gotta understand that this system, this picket fence, suburbs, 2.5 kids, was not built for us. So as long as we keep aspiring for it in the version that they want us to aspire for, so that they can keep snapping it away, as long as we keep looking for that, because it's almost like that old slavery approval. It's like, I've arrived, I made it, but I've made it according to the terms of this construct that you are, that is not for us. I mean, we've got so many other ways of achieving success that's not even funny. And success is relative for each person. But now when you try to get success in that machine that's made to chew us up and spit us out, then you have to understand what comes along with it. We have to learn understanding, empathy, and we have to understand the big picture. That's really what I'm trying to say. We have to understand the big picture, and our goals cannot be, well, I need a man to do this, or I need a woman to do this. How are we gonna get there together?
Come on.
We'll get there. We need to,
together.
It's about building.
That's right.
That's all.
Together. Good stuff. April, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, systems are something that you buy into. We don't need anybody's system. Nobody can solve the more problem but the Moors. The problem is that we keep looking for somebody else to fund our movement, such as, just as an example, certain organizations, I don't know if anybody's seen me, but I did the money sign. It's due to the money. If I get money from an organization that I know is headed by a white man, then my voice is changed, because I have to fix my posture and how I'm coming to the people that I'm speaking to now, because now I have funding from somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? And in terms of Black in particular, because this is how I deal and what I deal in, I'm not interested in anybody else. So in terms of Black men and Black women's relationship, and that's where understanding comes in, because what kind of woman are you sharing this information with? You see what I'm saying? Did you take a chance on a woman who you were attracted to based on physical things alone, or you know what I'm saying? Or had you given yourself enough time to get to know that person? I'm not saying you in particular, but I'm just saying men and women in general. We get along real well in a bed or laying down. It's getting up where we seem to start missing each other. And here's where my argument lies in relationships. If everybody is looking for the same thing, why is it so hard? We stick around trying to prove we're loyal to the wrong kind of people when we see things and know things aren't there. It's okay that somebody came in your life and you're just not feeling it like that, or you're seeing things that you don't like. It's time to move around. So my argument is, I'm not saying all the time, but on a more often than not basis, we deal with a lot of things that we would not. We're not true to ourselves.
It's because we don't know ourselves.
We don't know ourselves.
In terms of what we want. Exactly. And I feel like history and education has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, we got so much of things that we can do every day consistently to go closer to that change. And if it's working for you, tell the rest of us about it. We can implement it in whatever it is that we're doing. I don't want this just to be a conversation, a whole bunch of words.
Like April said, it's about education.
Because we can have this conversation right now. We all leave, we hang up, we say goodnight, and then it was a great conversation. But what are we doing with it after that? Each of us really, this is like an accountability kind of thing right now. All of us being accountable to each other for the movement.
I'm a caregiver for my mom right now, so that takes up a whole lot of my time. One of my aspirations is, if you ever read anything about the Harlem Renaissance, that whole period is close to my heart. I
check it out.
A big house. I need people coming in and sharing ideas, brainstorming, intellectuals and creatives trading ideas. Because we're creatives, that's what spurs us forward in a lot of things. Oftentimes it's not the practical stuff or the things that look like they should be the inspirations for us to do better or to grow or whatever. It's usually the creative parts of us that desires to build something, And so that's what I would love to have, a space where no matter what time of day, in and out, you want to sit down and be creative with somebody. You want to go write some music in the studio. You want to talk. You want to write. You want to paint.
We need safe spaces in general.
Safe spaces.
We need a lot of safe spaces.
And I would love to. My goal is to create that kind of space.
Because it's so funny because that's how I met April. She's a barber. She cuts my hair now. Officially, she's awesome. You guys, if you all are close, anybody close to where she is,
Thank you.
I'm looking for a barber.
Oh, you so silly. But she is no joke. But I realized it was our connection was so much more than a haircut. When she started talking, my body was just tingling, sitting in her chair. And we both, it's what we're all saying, we're all there where we just want to empower and educate and teach, and don't let time go by without doing something to get closer to the goal. Yes. Because we're still playing catch up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Huh?
May I just say, if you're taking it on as a personal responsibility to be the best version of yourself every single day, to be the best mother, to be the best sister, to be the best partner, to be the best friend, you know what I mean? Just be the best at every possible thing. And I feel like that's where our connection is. Just happened to be that one of the few people that have some sense and like, what, that does make sense. But I do that daily, speaking to people in my chair. I'm just looking for that one little pop. If I can intrigue your thought just a little bit, because the one thing that I'm not going to say none of us, most of us don't take responsibility in doing is looking back. I hadn't thought anything past our history before slavery, growing up. I didn't look into these things until I was over the age of 17, because on Black History Month, my parents got all the Black movies. We watched them all month long, and I really felt empowered by that. But it's always so sad. We're so much more than that.
Yeah.
We are the mother and father of humanity. Do you know how long we have been here? You know what I'm saying? So on that being said, I feel like we keep looking for an apparatus or a moral standard with the Caucasians. They are not the standard for morality.
Right.
And we know that based on what we know of them, not our prejudice, not our prejudged notion, but what we know of them.
Experienced.
No one can solve this but us.
Right.
You sound like CHAR now.
Exactly. David?
Oh yeah, one of the things I enjoy about a lot of the time I spend is, sometimes there are young people who have participated in our internship programs with the All Stars Project. And so one of the nice things is getting an email or a phone call, asking for a recommendation letter or reference letter because they're applying for college. And there's a young woman who just recently is trying to go to medical school. She's always wanted to be a doctor, and she's had a lot of struggles in her life. When she was younger, her father was shot and killed as a teenager. She recently, her fiance died a couple of months ago, and she is working so hard because she's always been interested in the medical profession. And then there was another young woman who just recently referred to me as her professional dad.
Oh,
So it's like, so I just enjoy those opportunities to communicate with our young people, and I'm looking forward to when the
that's what I'm talking
pandemic
about.
ends and we have shows again, because sometimes, I'll go to a show that, one of our young people is doing, and, sometimes I let them know they're coming, and sometimes I surprise them, but, it means a lot to them, when I'm in the audience and I'm seeing them doing a hip hop performance, and, when I'm, this, old man who's there and cheering them on, but they really appreciate that.
Yeah. I hope you all get to know more about him. And I'm not trying to just build him up, but I've been around a little bit, and I've heard, watched some of the things that he's been doing in the videos. Check out what he's doing. He has some stuff online. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. But when I hear that, because, you're talking about these young people who their fathers were killed, their fathers are incarcerated, they don't have, and then the mothers are working hard just to provide for them. So they're missing out on so much. David shared with me about, he said what he does is he goes and he gets the outcasts, like the people who are thrown away. He goes and he gets them. What's that one trip, David, you were telling us about, where you said it was a field trip, and because of his grades, he could not go on the field trip, and it's like a penalty. There's probably reasons why this young man's
absolutely
grades,
and we welcome those same young people into our program. We've had young
no
people,
throwaways.
No, we had a young man who was, selling drugs on the west side of Chicago, but his sister was in the program. And, when we just said to the young people, if you want to invite some siblings to come to our next, gathering, go ahead and do that. So this young man, he responds to his sister. He, comes to our program, and then he starts coming to the weekly workshops. He, resume writing and public speaking, how to interview for a job. And then we place him in a paid summer internship. And, now he says he wants to be a role model, And it's so interesting because we had a reporter from CBS who was, interviewing some people, and, he was, away from the interview, he was saying, probably the biggest challenge you have is getting young people to quit selling drugs because they make more money doing that. Well, I say you're making an assumption about our young people. There's a lot of young people who, if they have an opportunity, it's not about whether they're going to make more money selling drugs or make more money putting on a shirt and tie and doing an internship. They want the peace of mind of being able to, have an opportunity, where they could, get paid for doing an honest living, So,
Right.
And we had one, and I promise this will be the last one. We had one young woman who was the mother of two children, and I was doing some outreach when I went to a place on the west side near Roosevelt and Pulaski, and his grandmother's raising their grandchildren. And one of the grandchildren she was raising, or, was a grown woman. She's 20 years old with two children. A lot of the people want to put the stereotypes on her that she's ticketed for failure and she's made mistakes and all that. She's simply, like you were saying earlier, she's a human being. That's what she is, She's a human being. So again, she started coming to our workshops and did a paid summer internship at a accounting firm, and this was in 2013, and she's still there, and now she supervises when we have interns at this company. She's their supervisor.
Beautiful
That's
thing.
what I'm talking about.
So when you see her walking on Lake and on Clark and Lake during her lunch break, it's like she belongs there because she does. That's her neighborhood too. Clark and Lake is her neighborhood too. She belongs right there, and she's proudly going out and getting lunch, and she's beaming. She's got a big smile on her face, because we can't throw away our young people. We can't just wave our fingers, but you shouldn't have done this. It's like, well, that's neither here nor there. She's a human being who deserves an opportunity, for people to show that we care about you. And I'm just so proud of her too. I'm just beaming with pride whenever I speak about her. And this is one last thing, real last thing.
Go for it. This is good stuff.
2018, where this again another, we got a young woman who's on stage, and this is where I did get emotional because I try to be hardcore too, not show emotion, but this young woman on stage said, "This man, David Cherry, is like a father to me," and it was so meaningful. It's hard to even describe what it felt like to say that, because I talk to her several times a week, and when she's depressed, when she's going through stuff, just needs someone to speak with, she knows she can do that, but she's on stage. She said, "This man is like a father to me," and she told the audience to get up and give him a standing ovation.
Oh my God.
That is how you know you doing the work.
That's
right there. Do that.
That is awesome. Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yep.
Everybody, I love you guys. I thank you so much for spending time together and sharing this moment and just talking it out. I do feel like we set some beautiful things in the atmosphere. And I just have faith that it's going to go to work for us.
Yeah.
I just have faith that it's going to go to work for us. And the powers that be is going to keep enlightening us. And we're just going to water this and fertilize it and bring it together. Oh God, I'm tired, y'all. I'm serious. I'm serious. Like my heart, I wake up, I feel everything.
Yeah.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah, this is amazing, Char, and the panelists too. It's like
I love that it just goes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like all the different subjects.
Exactly.
Char calls it adult conversation.
Like a haircut.
What'd you say, David?
I said I think that's why you call it adult conversations, because that's what this is. This is
it's adult conversation. We have gone really Will.
Sorry.
April, could you put your?
This is amazing.
I need a haircut. I need a haircut now. I'm looking at my hair all the time.
Our adult conversations has gotten really adult. Look. But this is height conversations, and we're building something beautiful. So thank you all so much for being here. I'm sorry the other ones didn't make it. I don't know. We'll figure out how it works for maybe we come back together to pick up and see what kind of progress we made and, go from there again.
Yeah.
All right.
It was an absolute pleasure, everybody. Like, honestly, I'm so happy to be here. So happy to have met everybody. Thank you so much, Char.
Pleasure to have you. I'm so glad you said yes. Because she was kicking and screaming at first. She was fighting. Look at how much she brought to the conversation. She brought so much to the conversation.
Girl, I talk too much. That's why I didn't.
No, you don't. You don't talk too much. Get to know this young woman, Amber. Get to know her.
Okay.
She is. She
powerful.
Like she blows our minds every time, and I'm not just saying it. Right, Will? Will, am I telling the truth?
When Amber drops what she wants to say, it's always meaningful. Like it, she had, like I said, her voice, the quality of the voice. I'm like, you should be doing voiceover work.
Yes.
Because the perfect narration tone.
Yes. So even audible reading.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever thought about that, but you should do that. And then that's something you should do. But then also just the fact that I love people who think a long time before they speak.
Yes.
I definitely do. I think while I'm speaking, so that's why it goes all over the place. But I love it when somebody thinks before they, because like you can say stuff in a succinct way, and it's just that's it. There's with me, the way I talk, you have to interpret sometimes, which I'm used to.
No, you're good. You're good, except for when you cut me off when I'm saying deep, meaningful things. But listen, anyway, before we go, wait, we have a guest that we didn't acknowledge. Amber, your dog.
Oh.
Yes, I'm all about pets. Are you serious?
Your dog and
your little puppy. Let's see the puppy. What's her name? Girl, boy.
Carlisle. She's a girl.
Hi, Carla.
Yorkie.
You're beautiful. What kind of dog is it?
She's a Yorkie.
Oh, Yorkie. Okay.
She's a golden Yorkie.
She's gorgeous. My daughter just got a Frenchie pug. So like I'm a grandma, pop, whatever. But anyway, all right, you guys, I love you so much. And thank you. I will be in touch. We'll see what comes out of the next time we get together. Okay.
Thank you,
All
Char.
right.
Thank you,
And
Char.
Thanks, everybody.
bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
Bye-bye.